Welcome to today's Explainer. Look, if you're trying to nail your weekly routine, but you refuse to eat boring, flavorless food, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're unpacking a literal masterclass in culinary efficiency. We're going to look at how to craft the ultimate 30-minute high-protein beef pepper pasta. Let's get right into it.
So, let's focus on the payoff here because the promise is huge. 5 days of high-protein meals in just 30 minutes. Think about that. We're talking about taking just half an hour of focused effort and turning it into an entire work week of rich, creamy beef pasta. You can basically say goodbye to that daily what's for dinner panic, right? It's a total game changer for your prep.
Section 1. Quick and easy prep. The foundation.
Okay, kicking things off with a brilliant little chef's secret. When you're dicing that onion, leave the root completely intact. Seriously, don't chop it off. By making thin slices but stopping just before you hit the root, the whole onion stays held together while you chop. It's like a built-in anchor. This gives you a perfectly neat, uniform dice with zero waste and honestly, a lot less frustration. Now, you might be tempted to just grab a grater for your 3 cloves of garlic to save, 5 seconds? But our source explicitly recommends crushing and roughly chopping them instead, and the reason is actually really fascinating. Rough chopping creates larger pieces that slowly develop this beautiful, rich, nutty flavor in the oil. If you grate it, the pieces are so tiny they'll burn almost instantly in a hot pan, and nobody wants that bitter, burnt garlic taste ruining the whole dish, right?
Section 2. Boiling the perfect pasta. Timing is everything.
Moving on to the pasta. Get a large pot of boiling water and salt it generously. Though, as the source smartly points out, it doesn't actually need to be as salty as the ocean, so don't go too crazy. We're using 300 grams, that's about 10.5 ounces of spiral pasta. But here is the absolutely crucial part. Ignore the packet instructions. You literally must cook this pasta for exactly 2 minutes less than what the box says. Why? Because it's going to finish cooking later right inside our beef sauce, soaking up all that incredible flavor without turning into total mush.
Section 3. Building the beef base. The art of the sear.
All right, let's head over to the stove, get a large pan or a high-sided pot, blazing hot over high heat with just a single tablespoon of olive oil. Drop in 750 grams or 1.6 pounds of lean, 5-star beef mince and spread it out evenly. You want maximum surface area hitting that hot metal. Hit it with some salt to draw out the moisture, add about 10 good cracks of black pepper, and then you wait. This is the ultimate test of culinary willpower. Let it sit completely untouched for 3 solid minutes. Just let the heat do its thing.
In that waiting game, it creates what culinary nerds call fond. It's that dark, gorgeous caramelized buildup stuck to the bottom of the pan. Now, it's not burnt food, I promise. It is literally pure, concentrated flavor. During those 3 minutes, the water evaporates from the beef, the proteins caramelize, and that crust becomes the absolute flavor foundation for the entire meal.
So once you've got that beautiful crust, break up the beef and immediately toss in your aromatics, that diced onion and roughly chopped garlic from earlier. Cook all of that together for another 3 minutes. As the onions hit the heat, they release their natural moisture, which gently deglazes the pan so it actually lifts up all that incredible fond we were just talking about, wrapping the beef in this incredibly savory, rich flavor.
Next up, stir in 1 tablespoon of thick tomato paste. And here's a pro move. You really need to cook this paste down for a couple of minutes over medium-high heat. You're basically frying it. This is super important because it caramelizes the sugars inside the tomato, cooking out that weird raw flavor, and gives our final sauce serious body and this deep, rich color.
Section 4. Crafting the peppercorn sauce. Richness and depth.
Now for the liquid gold. Pour in 300 milliliters, that's about 1 1/4 cups, of beef stock. This violently deglazes the pan even further, making absolutely sure none of that hard-earned flavor is left stuck to the bottom. Add just a touch more salt, 5 more cracks of pepper, bring the whole thing up to a simmer, and let it reduce gently for about 2 minutes.
Okay, time for that creamy finish. We're going in with 180 milliliters of thickened cream, half a teaspoon of paprika, sweet or smoked, your call, and a teaspoon and a half of cracked black pepper. Simmer that together for 3 minutes. Now listen up, because the source material has a major warning here. Do not use light cream. Seriously, skip the light stuff. It simply doesn't have the fat content needed to reduce properly. If you use it, you're going to end up with a sad, watery sauce instead of the thick, glossy masterpiece we're going for.
Once your sauce is rich and bubbling away, drop the heat all the way down to low. Now's the moment of truth. Fold in that undercooked spiral pasta along with half of your fresh chopped flat leaf parsley. Gently mix it all up for one final minute. Remember how we deliberately undercooked the pasta earlier? Well, this is why. It's now perfectly absorbing that creamy sauce like a sponge. And pro tip, you can splash in a little of that reserved pasta water right now to bind the whole shebang together.
Finally, take the pan completely off the heat. We're going to stir in 40 grams, about a quarter cup, of Parmesan cheese. This adds a final, optional, but let's be real, highly recommended layer of smooth, savory richness. And adding the cheese off the heat, that's a classic technique. It makes sure the cheese melts gently into the warm sauce without getting weirdly separated or stringy.
Section 5. Portioning for the week. Logistics and storage.
So the cooking is done, and this entire 30-minute sprint yields exactly 5 satisfying portions. It's mathematically perfect for a 5-day work week. Grab 5 identical 750 milliliter prep containers, and this recipe will fill them flawlessly. Actually, while you're at it, top them off right now with any extra sauce left in the pan, a little sprinkle of Parmesan, and whatever's left of your fresh parsley.
The real beauty of this effort is the versatility. This prep stays perfectly fresh in the fridge for 4 full days. Need it to last longer? Throw it in the freezer. It'll stay good for up to 3 months. When you're ready to eat, just give it a 3-minute blast in the microwave, making sure to mix it halfway through. Or, if you'd prefer, toss it in a pan on the stovetop for a couple of minutes, with a tiny splash of stock or cream, just to wake that rich sauce right back up.
So, looking at this rich, creamy, high-protein meal, achieved with just 30 minutes of focused effort, I really have to ask you, are you finally ready to reclaim your weeknights, or are you going to keep settling for that stressful, last-minute cooking scramble? Master these 30 minutes and reap the delicious rewards all week long.